Is self-care selfish? Hi champions, I'm Dr. Meghna Dixit, author of You Matter, and I'm thrilled to welcome you to our channel. Here we explore the fascinating realms of mind and brain and share the secrets to success, help you heal your past and prepare for a brilliant future. If you are new, don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell. And to all our returning viewers, a heartfelt welcome. Now, if you are ready to dive into the incredible world of brain potential, type dive in the chat box right now. And there are two more ways I can help you. There are two links posted in the caption. First is to register for my live seminar to train your brain to achieve all your goals. And second is you can purchase my book, You Matter, through the link and start your personal growth journey with me. Now, let's begin to understand, is self-care really being selfish? 24th June marks the start of the Self-Care Month, which ends with Self-Care Day on 24th of July. This symbolic day was chosen because self-care can be practiced 24 hours for 7 days a week. World Health Organization has, in fact, come up with a global guideline on self-care interventions on health and well-being. Are you surprised with that? Well, don't be. Self-care is not being selfish. Let us understand. What do we mean by self-care here? And why is self-care so important? And how do we follow a self-care routine? Are you ready for that? Type ready in the chat box. Look at this glass. It is filled with water. Somebody comes to you and asks you for water. Now imagine you not having the water in this glass. Can you ever pour water for anybody, any person who's thirsty and asking for your help? No, right? Self-care is just filling water in the glass, but the glass is you yourself. Unless you fill your own glass, how can you support and help anybody else? Self-care refers to anything that you do to keep yourself mentally, emotionally, physically, socially, and spiritually healthy. The key word here is healthy. Healthy means that part which is not diseased. I read this simply wonderful article written by an eminent neurologist. This elderly gentleman came to him complaining that his vision was impaired. Age 96. His entire family was with him, including nephews who were surgeons in the USA, and everybody was dissuading him from going through any surgery at that ripe old age. In fact, the general thought was, why does he need his eyesight at 96 years? The neurologist asked the patient, why did he want to go through the surgery as there was considerable risk? The response, my dear listeners, will blow you away. The gentleman looked at the doctor and said, there is no joy in living like this. The neurologist performs the surgery, is successful in removing the tumor impairing the sight. This elderly gentleman is thrilled to be able to get his eyesight back and celebrated his wife's 94th birthday in the hospital ward. This gentleman has taken self-care to a whole another level. This mantra for life was finding the joy in living and not allow anything to hamper it. For most of us, self-care means luxury living. Especially my generation and generations before me. We were conditioned to first think of the family. I've seen my mother, the way she would be toiling away in the kitchen from morning to night. Her entire focus was her family and their well-being. There would be days when she would be eating her first meal of the day at 4 p.m. in the afternoon. All this took a toll on her and caused her untimely demise. I had a client who had come to me for her health. Her complaint was that she was often falling ill. On deeper observation, I understood that falling ill was her way of getting her family's attention. Otherwise, her family was always busy in their lives. No time for her. Only when she would fall sick, they would be inquiring about her health. Do you know somebody like that in your circle? Type and let me know if you know someone like that. For a very long time, I was walking in my mother's shoes too. With little care towards self, I headed towards a complete burnt out. Emotionally, mentally, physically. I had to hit a rock bottom, see the despair in my child's face and learnt my hard lesson. Since then, I have made self-care my priority. I have understood that when I am fit, mentally, emotionally, physically, it automatically translates into my family's well-being. Do you get what I'm saying here? Type IGI, I got it in the chat box. Now I'm going to ask here some questions to you. A simple yes and no answer will do. Let's take an assessment of your self-care. First, do you get less than 7 hours of sleep most nights in a week? Type yes and no in the chat box. Second, do you wake up more than once in the middle of the night to use the washroom? Type yes and no. Third question, do you reach for that bar of chocolate while working on your laptop? Again, yes and no. Question number 4, do you exercise for a minimum of 30 minutes a day for at least 5 days in a week? Yes and no. Question number 5, do you often visit your family physician or dentist to just check whether everything is okay? Question number 6, do you have a dedicated time in the day to spend with your family? Question number 7, do you meet up with your friends at least once in a week? Question number 8, do you include some fun activity in your daily routine? Question number 9, do you enjoy mental math, solving Sudoku, or solving a puzzle? Question number 10, do you volunteer at least twice in a month? Question number 11, do you enjoy sitting by yourself, alone without your phone or for any company? Question number 12, are you comfortable to look at your own feelings, especially the uncomfortable ones? Question number 13, do you have the faith in the higher power that things will be taken care for you by the higher power? The answers to these questions will show you whether self-care is a top priority for you, or are you waiting for that one disaster to strike in and then take care of yourself. Let's look at some of the benefits of having a self-care plan. First one is improved physical health. When you exercise regularly, you begin to sleep better, your energy levels go up, and in turn boost your immune system. Second, enhance mental and emotional being. A good self-care routine helps in reducing stress, anxiety and depression, brings in joy and fulfillment in day-to-day living. Third, stronger interpersonal relationships. When we focus more on joy, peace and ease, it automatically transcends into our relationships. The bonds become stronger. Fourth, increase self-esteem and self-worth. When we choose ourselves and our well-being over others, it gives a clear signal that I matter to myself. This alters our perception of who we are and what we are capable of, leading to increase in productivity and focus. We become better at what we do. It further brings us a lot of satisfaction, increases wealth generation. It increases our value for ourselves and the world at large. Number 6. Brings in the stability and balance in all areas of our life. You can create your own self-care plan. I'm going to give you some suggestions here. First is, assess your needs. Look at your daily routine and make a list of all your needs. This will include work, home, relationships, family, everything. Second, against each of the needs, list the stressors. For example, getting the child ready for school clashes with you getting ready for work. This is the stress area. So likewise, make a list of all the stressors against each need. Third one is against each stressor. What is the self-care strategy that you can come up with? Getting child ready for school, can that be handled by your partner or the house help, or can the preparation for the next morning be done the night prior? So that in the morning you can peacefully focus on yourself getting ready for work. Number 4. Plan for a sudden challenge. The house help gets delayed, child takes suddenly ill, etc. Keep alternate plan ready. Maybe the contact of a great babysitter. Number 5. Taking small steps. The focus being joy, peace and ease. One area at a time. Number 6. Scheduling a dedicated time for your needs. That hour to complete that book, or the music lesson, or that much needed massage. Coffee with a friend. Remember, when you care for yourself, others will care for you. Only you are responsible for your well-being. In life, there will be challenges. Keeping self-care at top priority will only benefit us being able to tide over those challenges smoothly. Self-care equals to self-love. So make sure that you prioritize it for your healing, for your success. Did you enjoy this video? Let me know in the chat box which is the strategy that you are going to adopt. And do share it with your friends and family who really need to take care of themselves.